Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Great to be with you. Happy Lawn Maintenance Tuesday. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything, but if you do, we got you covered. Show can be heard in its entirety upon the conclusion of the program. We'll post it both to iTunes and in our own audio vault. You can always email the show if you like at JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at JCameronShow. WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. You can also Periscope the show. If that's your cup of tea, just go to Twitter. Follow at 979ESPNradio. I think we're caught up. JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Email address. That's about right. Good to be back with you. Man, busy time. Hope my throat holds up through the whole thing here. My voice is a little rocky today.
A little scratchy?
A little scratchy. Had a good time. Pearl Jam at Wrigley Field was amazing. Enjoyed it. Hours and hours. Endless fun. But travel yesterday wasn't a lot of fun. I really struggle with the air travel, man. Not being on the plane, just the delays and all that stuff.
Is our mutual friend Matt going to wake up before he's 41? Was it that kind of a time?
Oh, we had a good time.
Okay.
We had a good time. But, no, he's fine. He's fine. I went with him to the airport. We were all good, and it's the way you do it up for a friend's 40th birthday, buddy. When you turn 40, I'll be really old, and that's going to be difficult, boy. I'll have to buck up then.
I just get screwed on this kind of stuff.
A little bit. Just the age range. It's the price you pay. What are you, 16 years younger than me? 15?
Depends on the time of year.
Yeah. So something like that. It's tough, man. Many moons from now, when that happens, we'll go somewhere big. It's keeping with the tradition, but it was good.
Yeah, it's the same thing with growing up. We talked about Christmas and stuff. We don't have to rehash all that stuff and have everybody turn down radios. But that's the thing. If I had a younger sibling who is 10 years younger than me, then maybe Santa would be more generous to me in my 20s. But.
Right.
But when Santa's like, let's keep it to one gift this year,
it's
like, what the hell?
Santa? I got screwed.
Everybody else got, into college.
Man, all right, here's what I'll say. Gosh, a lot has happened since I went away, and I didn't go away that long. I missed Thursday, Friday, and yesterday, and boom, the athletic director decides, peace, I'm going to the NCAA, which I really can't blame him. I understand that. He gets to be the number 2 man at the NCAA, and I think if you're vying someday to be the commissioner of the ACC or something like that, that's a move you got to make. It's a pay bump. It's likely the right thing to do. Here's one thing I'll also say. I just don't think our fans, or fans in general, and I'm not mocking fans, but I think this is true across the country, so maybe I shouldn't have said it, our fans, ever really liked their athletic director. I mean, we have had, you look around the country at athletic program after athletic program, few size up and compare nicely to Florida State. With all the successes across the board, with how good everything is right now with the various programs, usually an athletic director in that situation would be held in high regard. But I think our situation with the boosters and Andy Miller's power and all of that kind of tends to take away credit from the guy that's doing good things, and then also prohibits a certain number of candidates that would want to take that job because they may not have real power. And, these are the things that come up when you have this larger conversation. But the other thing with Stan, just an observation, he just wasn't an out front vocal guy. So because he wasn't, people wondered whether or not he was doing anything. I assure you he was.
That was my number one concern as to, when we're having big-time discussions.
Yeah.
Who are the players in the room and who's got a voice in the room? Because that's where that really matters when you're an athletic director. I will kind of contradict that in the moment because I think our next hire might require some more, skills in front of the camera or perhaps in a room. But when you're having a conversation about a football-only facility or the Moore Center or whatever it is, you got to have a voice in the room that says, hey, guys, we got a budget and we've got a lot of hands out right now. So, I get it that you want to spend $150 million on this next big thing, but we're Florida State where money doesn't grow on trees yet. We're building to a place where it's going to be like that,
Gotta
hopefully
get to that
in
point.
time.
Yeah, it hurts that we're not there yet because we are so young, relatively speaking, to the other big-time programs for whom we compete against.
Right. And so when it comes to being efficient and responsible, the onus falls on us. And Florida State has a tradition of being efficient with less and being able to do more with less than, say, our neighbors two hours down to the southeast of us.
It certainly hasn't prohibited Florida State from having gobs of success across the board, and that includes the most important, which is in football.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
3 Heismans and 3 titles in 50 years fewer than the Gators.
Yeah,
yes.
pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And again, our last one was just 5 years ago. It's not like it's been eons since we were any good. If you go back to the 29-game win streak, you're talking really just a couple years of being down a little bit. 3-loss, 6-loss, and Jimbo was the one who screwed us last year, not the athletic director. So and not a lack of money. So we'll get there.
But the good thing is that when he took another job, it wasn't, say, the athletic director job at Texas Tech or something. This is a step up. It's a clear
that would have been
step
like,
up.
what is going on around here? Yeah.
Well, it's like when Barron left, and you can, like or not like President Barron, but when, Penn State was willing to quadruple his salary or whatever it was.
Also,
it was
what was from there?
Well, he had ties, but you're talking about, a serious pay bump. There's a clear reason for the move. I think people would have gotten nervous if he left and it was somewhat lateral or it was considered a step back.
No.
This is a step up, and the next guy in, if he can, turn some cash deals quickly for us, then that's probably a good thing because we have a lot of projects that need, tending to yesterday.
Also, by the way, that is an approach that many programs have taken in terms of modern-day searches. They'll hire guys to be athletic directors who have those business ties, who can turn these into big-time deals. We've seen that. Michigan did that. So, we've watched different schools do this, take guys from the business world and make it work. Anyhow, plenty of time to talk about all that. It's football week, damn it, and that's the thing I'm most excited about. Here we are with a reason to be excited. We've got football coming this Saturday. The wait is finally over. It's not me saying, like I have been in the weeks past, oh, hey, soon I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's this month. All those things that I was saying. No, it's this freaking weekend.
Hello, my friend, hello.
I've missed you. I'm most excited about Wyoming and New Mexico State. That's just me. A little ESPN2 action, 10 p.m. Woo! Let's go Cowboys.
Little late night action for you right there.
Late night action indeed. And then, Hawaii and Colorado State, which you can hear right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio, 7:30 p.m.
I was going to say late night, whatever the conference was, but then I realized I have no idea what conferences those schools are in. So
Mountain West, isn't it, for Wyoming? Is that right?
It could be. So that's why I just said late night action. But that's the final Saturday, the one we just experienced.
Who doesn't like late night action?
Well, what red-blooded American, right? The Saturday we just experienced was the last one without college football for a long, long, long time.
So you can imagine my enthusiasm, knowledgeable of that fact, as I was walking into Wrigley Stadium, Wrigley Field, and thinking to myself, this is it. The Saturday before football starts, I'm seeing Pearl Jam live at Wrigley, which is a good Saturday, more than a good Saturday, an unbelievable Saturday. And then the following Saturday, if you think I was going to have a letdown, which it will be slightly, but it is help buoy the spirits as I sit back and watch a little college football. It's what I'm doing. And by the way, Mountain West was correct for Wyoming.
Very good, sir.
Well, how could they not be? What other conference are they going to be in? Conference, they kind of have to be.
Well, I didn't know if they were, in FCS or FBS or what, to be honest.
Wyoming is a highly competitive, fine program. Don't you sully the reputation of Wyoming. I'm not going to allow for this nonsense.
Idaho dropped down a classification that now if Wyoming and Idaho is like something that happens in the playoffs with North Dakota State every year, I don't know.
You ever do that thing where you can't remember? It's one thing to not remember who everybody is in the Mountain West or whatever it might be. But like if I say to you right now, and I think the answer is no because I would say no, and there's nothing wrong with it. But if I would have told you, can you name every team in the Conference USA?
Oh, certainly not, because they've had overhaul and they
just change it all the time.
Well, they had the American, the Big East, Conference USA. There's all kind of poaching that's gone on in the last 5-6 years there.
Right.
No, not at all.
Well, see, when you get confused, you think about Conference USA, and then you think of like something like the Mid-American Conference or something.
Right.
You're like, who's in the Mid-American? Bowling Green is, my friend. But you would, again, that would be difficult.
Conference USA.
How many Mid-American Conference teams can you name? Even one?
Ooh, Bowling Green.
I just gave you that one. With the kick-ass abstract logo.
Miami, Ohio?
That's right.
Boom!
Now name the third because you can do that too.
I can do that too. Ohio, Bobcats.
Okay, now you're going to be able to name a fourth. Let's keep this chain rolling, baby. That's correct, by the way, yes.
Youngstown State?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I'm out.
Northern Illinois, whom we play.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, the MAC. You're saying Mid-American, and for some reason I couldn't put two together.
Yeah. So there's Akron Zips.
Yeah.
Good old Zips.
Maction. Excuse me.
Little sweatshirt action. Sweatpants action.
I've forgotten that they were the Mid-American.
Yeah, there you go. Can you name every team in the Pac-12? That you could.
I could. Do we really want to do that?
No, that's not how I'm opening the show.
Okay.
Of course not. I just wanted to see what you do. If you said no, I was going to go, Tom Lang, get it together, sir. You got to know the teams of the Power Five.
Jeez,
of course you could.
It's Pop Quiz Tuesday.
Nah, I know. Caught you sleeping.
Hey, man, I did okay for the Mid-American, not even tying it together that it's the MAC.
Who's in the Sun Belt?
Well, not the commissioner anymore, buddy. You see that
My
guy
man,
left?
who I interviewed just, 10 days ago? Not on this show, but on College Sports Saturday, which I will be on this Saturday from 9 to noon.
Texas State, were they in there?
Texas State is in there, yes.
Yeah, I remember when they came over and played us a couple of years ago. They've got an awesome-looking logo, Bobcats or something.
It looks kind of like the Devil Bobcat. Yeah, it does. It's kind of a weird thing there. But, we have football this weekend. That is to be celebrated. But Florida State obviously scrimmaged while I was away, and the result of that scrimmage was the offense carrying the day. A lot of people didn't play in this scrimmage on both sides of the football. You had a lot of people absent. So it's harder to get a read of exactly what occurred. But by all accounts, according to Willie Taggart and also Harlan Barnett, the offense ruled the day. And I think one of the things that's occurring there is that clearly they wanted to have the offense kind of unleash, if you will. You could say unsheath. But the monster, because what they were attempting to do was showcase what exactly it is, tempo-wise, they're going to be trying to do.
Yeah.
And get this defense also acclimated to that. And to some degree, the defense failed miserably at that. One thing that's going to go on here is that, again, I think there is, when this is working, a sense that it's going to overwhelm people. And that's true when you look at offenses like this around the country. When you win first down, things can get hairy for a defense in a hurry. They can't change out personnel. They get worn down. They're on their heels. There's confusion. The ball is being snapped before they're positioned. And you see big play after big play after big play when this happens. And I think, yes, this offense will create that kind of havoc.
Well, I think it was Jimbo, and it's not a unique thought, but he would say that it's that first down.
That creates the tidal wave.
Yeah, it's not about necessarily winning first down. It's different. Like achieving another fresh set of downs when you have this type of offense. The ball just starts rolling, and it's really hard to stop. You need a penalty or a negative play, a splash play. But it's just when you get that first one going, and now there's a rhythm being generated with the offense, it's everything they do in practice is, coming back to them, and it's become second nature. And then if the quarterback gets in a rhythm, it's like a point guard being in rhythm without being hand-checked.
I think it's rather amazing that they were able to achieve this now. One of the things that came out of that scrimmage, that none of the quarterbacks looked great, nobody looked bad either. It was kind of a mixed bag, but by and large, quarterbacks were okay. The separation, and you'll hear from Walt Bell next hour, is starting to happen, but it's marginal. They're not really getting somebody to win the job far and away to make it easy. They're starting to see some separation. He wouldn't get specific as to who that was. My sense is, again, DeAndre Francois likely going to be the guy. I do think a couple of things about this offense. I think you're going to see some guys put up some big numbers, just the nature of this offense. I think they are going to run fast. I think maybe faster than people realize, like maybe more than Willie is willing to say. And the games, I'll repeat myself, the games against the likes of a Samford, or Northern Illinois, probably a Syracuse even, teams like that don't have the requisite personnel athletically to line up and run, or the depth of personnel, they're going to get boat raced.
This has been a sticking point for me just in keeping track of what Willie said. This has been a mixed message since his opening press conference about whether or not they're going to go blazing fast or they're not going to go at hyperspeed.
Yeah, has he introduced enough doubt in everybody's mind yet? Because on the opening press conference, he was ready to go, right?
Right. He's saying as fast as we can, lethal simplicity, fast without thinking. We want to run as many plays as we can, and then he's kind of dialed it back. Yeah, I would think maybe it's gamesmanship. Another thing I noted today with Greg Fry, and we have different audio from him next hour, but in regards to the scrimmage that happened over the weekend, they were talking about how much can you learn about the offensive line scrimmages before you get to the game. He said, well, the game that's the first real test, because scrimmages are controlled environments where you can teach lessons to players that you want to teach to them. And I wonder, because they do this in preseason NFL practices all the time, they're going to call a defense to put a defense in a situation to fail and for an offense to succeed in order for a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
I wonder if, I'm not saying that the offense's success was completely not true, but I wonder if the offense was put in a situation where, if you listen to the coaches, the offense hadn't won a day in practice yet until the scrimmage. Were they put in a situation where maybe they needed a confidence boost a little bit on top of the fact that they started to win some battles?
It could have happened, and I would also tell you that I think it's always important to temper disappointment and enthusiasm, either side of the fence that you're on with that. I mean, some people get real excited to hear the offense is humming, and some people get real scared that the defense let that happen. We don't know who participated and who didn't fully. For example, Marvin Wilson didn't participate. Kando didn't participate. We got guys that on that defense that aren't participating. Those are just a couple of names that I know. There's some more. There's some more people that did not play that are going to be starters, okay? I can just tell you that. Just as there were some starters on offense that didn't play, okay? Some guys that are held out for, precautionary reasons.
We know who they are.
We know who they are, and I will tell you some of those names are pretty important.
Well, I'm not saying the coaches. We know who they are on Saturdays.
Right. But also, I do know who they are.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And I do by extension.
Yeah,
yes.
but so the point would be that some guys that would have helped stem the tide were not out there to do that.
Right.
And that's kind of a big deal. Now, I guess I'll go back to something here, and I thought about this when I was flying yesterday. This has been an amazing camp. On the one hand, you're learning an awful lot about the way these guys coach, or things I really like, and some things I have questions about. Not necessarily negative, just things I can't wait to see when the games start. And on the other hand, the thought that I know which areas of the field I'm going to be concerned about, which units on the team I'm going to be worried about, which segments if I'm going to be scared about. I knew all that before camp based on what we were or were not last year, and that's all turned out to be true. Not because I'm Nostradamus over here. It's just not hard to say, hey, listen, offensive line's going to be, at best, decent, not great ever right now until attrition occurs and we get some more people in here, and that's really been the case. Am I worried a little bit about the linebackers? Well, we were at the end of last year, the year before that, and I think we are again this year. I mean, not a lot has changed in terms of the concerns we have, even with all of the overhaul.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of position groups, and the one that I said that may have been kind of under the radar at the time was interior of the defensive line. With Marvin Wilson going down, that's a big chip, man.
Well, hold on. Let's clarify for that. He's back. He's practicing, but he's not full go just yet.
In the spring. I was referring to the spring and then him not being available for the beginning of camp, and they didn't know as of a week ago whether or not he'd be ready for the opener. It sounded like they were doubtful about that.
I think he's going to be.
Things have changed since then. That's good, but he still needs to get in game shape, and honestly, I think with him being out, it reminds you that the interior, you have some frontline players, but you don't have what you had last year in the interior, which was the great sin of many of 2017, is you had Noddy and Christmas. You had Noddy for his whole career, and we didn't do a damn thing with him. It's very frustrating. And you also had a second wave of guys. I think right now with Fred Jones and DeMarcus Christmas, you have Wilson next, and some people need to prove themselves to be the fourth and fifth person in that rotation. So especially in a 4-3, you're not as thin or as deep as you want to be in the interior of the defensive line. Other positions are like that too, but the D-line wasn't really talked about all that much heading into the camp.
And you need them to be, because if you have questions about your linebackers, sure would help to keep people off of them.
That's right.
So there's that. And then I would also say, though, that one of the things that we thought was probably going to be the case, even though they were a little green, the depth of talent in that secondary is for real. And I know they didn't win the scrimmage, but a lot of the important people didn't participate in that scrimmage. But they are really good in that secondary if they're healthy. They are. So that's going to be a strength for this team if you get anything out of that group up front. I like the team. I think they're going to overachieve. I just think that you got to temper some enthusiasm until you see this offensive line against a legitimate defensive line. And I don't know that the Virginia Tech game is that test. I don't know, because Virginia Tech, everybody has an intimate understanding and knowledge of their favorite team, the school they went to, the city they live in, because they read the reports every day and they hear the local guy like me talking about it, and they call their friends that are over there, and they always think that their concerns are the greatest of concerns, that nobody else is going through something similar. In truth, everybody is. Alabama will go through a crisis at linebacker this year with all that they've lost, right? Now, they have fewer holes to fill and less problems than every other team in the country, true, but they it'll feel like the end of the world to those guys that are there reporting on it every day.
Well, they've got an overhaul of a staff, too.
Yeah.
Like
Well, they've
assistants.
done it a million times. I'm done ever thinking that these things are going to affect them. They get a new offensive coordinator every year. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference.
They do. I mean, that entire staff, though, it feels like, and Saban's noted it. I've been watching the ESPN documentary series that they're doing. It's like Alabama has its own, whatever that Showtime series was, a season with. And I wonder, is that maybe Saban's making the same mistake that Jimbo did, letting some clutter into the program? We can only hope that that's part of the process,
Oh, I
too.
sure hope that's the case, but I doubt it. They just have too much talent, too much depth of talent, too many assistants that help out. I mean,
I think Virginia Tech will be more of a mental test for the offense and protections than it would be a physical test, because Foster's going to bring all kinds of weird looks and exotics, and if your protections aren't in order, then somebody's going to get turned loose. And how many times over the last couple of years have we seen somebody
just turn loose,
especially in the interior of the offensive line, get turned the hell loose for a free shot on the quarterback?
Terribly disappointing.
I think this is a great mental test, not only for the offensive line, but whoever the H-backs are and the tailbacks are, to make sure that they've got all of their ducks in a row for who they need to protect and when.
If you've got a do-it-yourself project that needs to be finished, go see my friends over at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. They're local. They're great. They have everything you could possibly want to know or need, purchase, all that stuff. It's there. Satisfy all of your power tool needs. Stop by either Cornerstone Tool & Fastener's two locations, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Give them a call today, 580-1200. We thank them for their support of the Jeff Cameron Show. 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Monster. What's up, Jeff? How you doing today, bro?
Glorious. I thought it would never end. Interminable summer. Now here we are at the precipice of football.
It is indemitable. We get to sing songs and have fun outside.
Sing songs? I've never sung a song at a football game. You're singing?
Oh, we sing all the time. It's great.
The football I watch, we're yelling like gladiators for our team to win big.
Look, all I know is Friday night under the lights, it is fantastic.
Fridays. Saturdays, Eddie. Football is played on Saturdays. What are you talking about?
For a sports talk show host, you really don't know a lot about sports.
Eddie, we're talking football.
Yes, Jeff. Football.
No, football, Eddie. American football. Football. Say football.
Football.
Eddie, say foot.
Foot.
Ball.
Ball.
Football.
Football.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. Try to be a redneck. Football.
Football, you all.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E Plus from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
Are you tired of getting the same two-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener in DeWalt have your answer. Buy a 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee. 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. I think you're going to enjoy the audio from Walt Bell and Coach Fry talking about quarterback play and offensive line play, just because I think we're getting pretty good at reading between the lines with those two.
Walt's got a pattern, and I think he's the easier one, right? Or the more fun one, probably.
It is more fun. Speaking of fun, oh, look at this event we've got going on, huh? Yeah, 7th annual Jeff Cameron Show Libations Friday Fest Listener Appreciation Party. Indeed, it's going to happen Sunday, September the 2nd. Yep, that's the day before we play Virginia Tech. Goes from 4 to 7:30 at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. And if you're 21 and up, you get your first beer free on Fan Retreat from Fan Retreat. Go to fanretreat.com. Make sure you join that event. It's Popular Retreats is where you'll see the thing there in the middle. You click on it, boom, I'm going to that event. T-shirts, courtesy of Full Press Apparel, my friend Danny. Koozies, B&B Sporting Goods. Thank you, B&B. Crown Royal folks going to be out there giving you free shots of Crown Apple and Crown Royal and Crown Vanilla.
I believe the way they have to put that is there are samplings.
Samplings.
Yes, in order to
or as I call them.
Well, yeah.
Samples. 1 ticket to the end of the night prize raffle. Garnet and Gold hooking you up with the Nike FSU Coaches Polo. Also an authentic FSU football jersey. My friends at Keklan Country Club. Round of golf for 4. 2 of those. Bumpus Local. Thank you, Eddie. Bumpus Local 349-4 $25 gift cards. Butch Bundy, my good buddy, PGA professional. 30-minute private lesson. Cigar City, we like you too. Always have.
A little Oscar Blues for that derriere as well.
Craft beer giveaways by the 6-pack. Games for Less, George. Thank you, buddy. Metro Deli, the Deck Pizza Pub, giving away gift cards. That's good stuff. Deck Pizza Pub, new place. Going to open up. Of course, thankfully, that place now is up and operating again, rightfully so, because that deck is my favorite.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. It's from the folks who brought you Metro Deli, too.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 100 wing, 2 pitchers of beer, wing feast ×2. The night concludes at 7:30. We'll throw on LSU Miami. We'll watch it on the big screen with the Vegas wall, and we'll give away some prizes. Good times.
There'll be more prizes to talk about, too, which will be fun.
A lot of stuff there. So, I saw the odds for Cam Akers to win the Heisman, and that got me thinking about the numbers that Cam Akers could or could not put up and all that stuff. That's has been a big talking point. And I think you got to get to, I guess, a place where you're imagining the number of plays that you want to run per game. And one thing that continues to happen here is that people greatly overlook the idea that when you run the football and your goal is to run the football, now maybe you're lining up quickly, but you still have an emphasis on the run, the clock keeps moving. So you're not going to see 90 to 100 plays here. I don't believe. I don't think so. I think that, and Tom, I thought about this when thinking about our previous talks. Let that be a great thing because there's a physical aspect to running the football, obviously, that can't be duplicated. And secondly, it means that games aren't going to last for 5 hours like they do with many of these offenses that throw the ball 65 times a game and feature, at least 5 or 6 3-and-outs that last 7 seconds. Nope, not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. And the tailbacks that we have right now also do run the ball physically. They're not scat backs. You know what I mean? And that's like Amir Rasul may be a change of pace, but he's not what Cam is going to be for us in terms of carries and LeBourne and even Jaquez in short yardage situations. They can match a physical identity if that's the identity we're trying to go for here.
Oh, and I think it is, by the way. I think it's a big-time identity. I think that they've wanted – if you count quarterback runs, Tom, and then you count things, I guess, runs from the receiver, jet sweep stuff, I mean, I think there's no question Florida State's going to run the ball more than they're going to pass the ball, first of all. So when people think, well, is it going to be 50-50? Is it going to be a little bit more pass-heavy? No, it's run-heavy. They want to run the football. Now, I'll grant you, again, you can spread people out and run tempo, but it doesn't mean you're going to not run the ball. So I'm excited to see it because we have one of the best tailbacks in the country.
Right, and I don't know that the numbers are going to look like this in terms of attempts because I don't think Oregon's situation, in fact, I know it's not like Florida State's this year, but if you look at 2017 and Royce Freeman, right, who was one of their
really
stars.
Good player, yeah.
But if you look at the carries per game, I'll just rattle them off real quick. 23, 29, 30, 15, 6, 12, 18, 29, 20, 24, 19, 19. I think the tail end of the schedule is probably a little bit more accurate to what Cam will be getting rather than 23, 29, and 30 right out of the gate.
I think Cam Akers will carry the ball between 18 and 22 times a game.
That sounds about right. And Royce, just for 244 attempts for the season, he had 1,475 yards on the ground, and then he added another 164 receiving, only 14 catches. But Cam's better with his hands than Royce Freeman was, I would think.
Cam Akers can catch the football and will catch the football and will easily have more receiving yards than that number you just posted for Freeman, which is sub 150 is what you said, I think?
164 and 14
catches. Okay, so sub 170. No,
yeah.
He'll beat that easily. Man, I get it. It's crazy to ever say somebody's going to have 2,000 yards rushing or something like that. But if you want to talk to me about combined yardage in this offense and from scrimmage for Cam Akers, yeah, man, I think we are talking about something close to 2,000 yards.
Well,
combined yardage.
One thing that's crazy, too, if you look back at Cam's game log, I don't have it in front of me. I have Freeman's, but it was, I think, 2 or 3 at most games over 100 yards last year.
And he still had what?
Right. It was just consistent every single week. And then he had the huge game against Syracuse where I think he went for $199. But Freeman had 9 different games where he went over 100 yards. You talk about consistent commitment to the run game. There it is right there. He's not getting them in chunks and then he's taking a week off. That is consistent. Out of the 12, 13 games you play, you have 9 games over 100 yards.
Well, and listen, Cam is a unique talent. And getting back to this whole issue and number of plays, and this is all born out of the discussion of post-scrimmage with the defense being overwhelmed and all of that. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were just being lit up through the air. They were being lit up on the ground, too. This was a whole lot about not being able to get set, not being able to get your breath, not having certain personnel out there as well, and the tempo taking advantage of that unit this particular day. Now, again, it was alleged to be the first time that that's happened in camp. Fine. I think that the physical element, and Walt Bell said it time and again when he stressed that they want to run the ball. But I went back and looked. They certainly ran the hell out of the ball at USF, some more with the quarterback than we'll do. But he ran the hell out of the ball at Oregon. I mean, they want to run the ball. And that, to me, is my favorite aspect of the change is this. when we first hear about it, you immediately begin to think pass, 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 pass. When you talk to the coaches about it and actually look at the numbers, it's run, 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 and then hit you for the big play once you've come up and you have to stop the run because we're killing you. Now we got you in one-on-one situations out wide, and if you've got the receiving talent like a Tamarian Terry and guys like that, then good luck. You're going to win that battle. But we set you up with this stuff with the run.
I think the key will be, beyond the obvious of the offensive line, when our receivers are tested in the blocking game, are they up to that task consistently enough to be able to...
That's how big plays happen, that's for sure.
Well, just bring the bubble, because if you can do that, then, you've got to at least commit somebody another step or two towards the edge of what we're doing on offense. And what does that do? That creates a running lane up the middle. I mean, you're trying to put a defense in conflict in this offense.
Well, you're going to stress them out sideline to sideline and vertically.
Right. A lot of times when we're talking about zone read principles, we're talking about a slot defender. But in this case, I think you're talking about safeties too, because of how wide the splits are for the receivers and the fact that we want to run the ball a little bit everywhere. That's the thing. That's the nuance here to this offense, I think, more than just your standard Auburn-style type up-tempo offense. The splits are really, really wide compared to those.
One thing we did like about Auburn, though, that year in particular, they were very physical. I mean, that was a very physical team, and
they would attack the seams, but I think this offense is going to attack the perimeter in the passing game a lot.
You just always wonder how that's going to work when you face a team with physical corners and physical secondary and the athletes to run with you. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
We want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Hey, this is Wendell Parker of Parker Brothers Roofing. Most startup companies go out of business within their first 3 years. It takes years of experience for a roofing company to be exposed to and learn all the things that can go wrong. Don't gamble your valuable home to an inexperienced roofer. Parker Brothers has been in business in the community since 1995. Give us a call now at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
TGC 042221, CCC 049350.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Summer's winding down, but it's still hot, and so are the deals at Kraft Nissan. Actually, we might have the best rebates and incentives we've ever had. Nissan has 0% interest for 60 months on every vehicle we sell, the entire lineup. Kraft Nissan has new 2018 Versa sedans with 5-speed transmission for only $11,990. And all 2018 Altimas, Rogues, Maximas, and Muranos are $5,000 off. Not one or some, but every new Altima, Rogue, Maxima, and Murano on the lot is $5,000 off. And we have over 110 to choose from. And as always, all new Kraft Nissans come with our exclusive lifetime warranty. And introducing our new and exclusive Kraft Concierge Service. Need service, warranty work, or recall? Kraft Nissan will pick up and deliver your car at your home or office. Need a loaner car? We'll bring it to you. It's Kraft Nissan's new no-charge concierge service. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Prices include dealer preparation charge. Must finance through NMAC with approved credit.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Are you ready to experience an awesome fishing expedition? Sea Quarters Marina is home to several great charter services. All charters are customized based upon the types of fishing opportunities available and the type of fishing the customer requests. The Northwest Gulf Coast offers a variety of different angling adventures thanks to unspoiled back county islands and crystal clear flats. For more information regarding charters, call Sea Quarters Marina at 697-8400 or online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-298-5783. 800-298-5783. 800-298-5783. That's 800-298-5783.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Call to make here. If you're going to the Notre Dame game, and I assume you are, if you haven't been one of the great cathedrals of college football, this is your chance. Here at the Jeff Cameron Show, we're going to let Game Day Excursions handle the planning for you. That's all for the Seminole South Bend takeover. Double dip, ride out to Chicago, where I just came back from for the weekend, and letting Game Day Excursions take it from there. Turnkey experience. Here's what it includes: bus charter transportation to and from Chicago to South Bend. Noel fans leaving Saturday morning after a bottomless mimosa Bloody Mary, if that's what you want to do. You don't have to have that, of course, but it's there. Pre-game experience at Chicago's Field Museum. Return after the game that night. We arrive in South Bend, by the way. Welcome to a fully prepared and stocked 4+ hour tailgate on Notre Dame's campus. Boom. So that's a free game day meal and beer, live entertainment, all that. Game Day Excursions did this last year for the Notre Dame-Georgia game. Over 5,000 having a great time. They let you know the lay of the land, and you'll enjoy it. They've also got a block of rooms set up at the W Hotel Lakeshore in downtown Chicago. So for Noel fans exclusively, the block rate is $189 a night. Good stuff. Also a party Friday night at Hopsmith Tavern, hosted by our good friends at warchant.com. Head to GameDayExcursions.com today to secure your reservation. Use the code JCS at checkout. You'll save $10 off every ticket purchased. That's JCS at checkout, GameDayExcursions.com. All right. Look forward to it.
That's now within grasp, that trip.
You can see it.
Yep, pretty much.
It'll be nice and chilly.
Right. That's what I'm focusing on, actually, is the weather part of things. That's the last thing to come, right? Football comes before the weather.
You know, our good friend Sean Corte, there you go. There's your mention, Sean. Tweeted at me this morning that the football winds had arrived. And Sean, were you in Alaska? Where were you that the football winds had arrived? It certainly isn't here in Tallahassee, Florida. It was brutally hot this morning at a very early hour as I took my trash bin out to the corner. Nearly late. I could hear the trash guy coming. I did the, ooh, got to get going. So
at least he wasn't beeping like the guy on Facebook, right, who was threatening, he was going to come out there and get him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was a great
Making
story.
your boys some toast.
Good old Tampa. Oh, hold on. Good old Tampa. But, yeah, so I ran out there this morning awfully early to get the trash bin out there, and I thought, oh, a little 90-degree, 100% humidity action at 6:30 a.m. All right.
How was the weather in Chicago?
74, no humidity, slight breeze at the time of the concert. Sir, it couldn't have been better. It was unbelievably beautiful. Something to behold. It was a great time, Tom. I didn't bring it up. You asked.
No, it's just.
So I got caught with this. I had this. So my wife couldn't go, and I hated it for her. She really wanted to go, and she couldn't. She just couldn't get out of certain aspects of work. And so when she asked me how the concert was, I tried to do that thing where you're like, because it was incredible. So I tried to do that thing where you go, well, it was everything I had hoped for. That way you're not prattling on for days about what an amazing experience she missed out on. You know, I'm sensitive to that.
Sure.
And so she asked me, and I go, it was all that I could hope for. It was fantastic. And that's a pretty direct, there you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, did they play this? Did they play? They did. And they even played some ones that I hadn't heard them play before, and that was awesome.
Oh, boy. So now you're just leaking oil.
Yeah, so now I'm like, well, what do I do now? Because she's going to ask a follow-up. She goes, how was the weather? Couldn't have been any better. It really couldn't have been any better.
Was it?
It could not have been any better.
Did I read correctly that Dennis Rodman came out on stage?
He did. Yeah, he's a clown, but he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Only to introduce a song.
Like he held a ukulele or something?
He held a ukulele for Eddie and handed it to him, and then thanked the fans of Chicago for being good to him all these years, and then left. That was kind of the end of it.
That sounds kind of ominous. Are we going to see Dennis again?
I don't know. I've always wondered that, I mean, my world's okay without Dennis Rodman in it, but, I mean, I don't sit around rooting for his demise.
I appreciate everything you guys have ever done for me. Goodbye.
He pretty much did that.
Ooh.
No, he said when he dies, he'll be buried in Chicago. So that was also, yeah. We may not, buddy. We may not.
My goodness.
Yeah. So that was interesting. It was kind of weird. That was a strange moment. But anyhow, the show was, yeah. But I did that thing, and I'm trying hard not to be the guy. And she kept asking questions. How was the weather? Well, 70 and perfect. Oh. Did you get to hear everything and some more? So I'm a big fan of The Clash,
Yeah.
And they covered The Clash's Know Your Rights. And so I'm like, and so then she goes, did they do anything different? I'm like, played The Clash, played Know Your Rights. She's
Boy,
like, really?
you couldn't have just said
she
no.
She asked, what am I supposed to do?
Not under oath. No, you know what, babe?
No, nothing.
Matt had a good time.
Yeah.
To me,
that's all that mattered, right?
It was so inconvenient.
So you and I did we not wager on this Richie Incognito business? I thought we put an over-under on the amount of years he's got left on this earth.
That sounds familiar. We'll have to go back and check the tape.
So he was arrested yesterday in Arizona by Scottsdale police after threatening employees at a funeral home. I mean, I got to tell you, this isn't going to end well. He's going to be dead. Somebody's going to shoot Richie Incognito because he's so big, so menacing, so out of control that would be the only answer. It's not like you're going to fist fight him.
Maybe Jonathan Allen, whoever that guy was that he bullied.
Who's also got real problems, apparently. Yeah. Incognito's father died over the weekend.
It's a hell of a lunch table.
And according to Pro Football Talk, Incognito caused a disturbance at Messenger's funeral home when he went in to make arrangements. He was booked for disorderly conduct on Monday. That's yesterday. A spokesman for the Scottsdale City Jail told, I guess it was Deadspin. Per PFT, Incognito began acting erratically when he came into the funeral home. Like, of all places that you would act erratically, I could understand being inconsolable maybe, but it doesn't say inconsolable.
Right. Maybe like howling, weeping kind of a thing.
Yeah. Just weeping, but no. Acting in a threatening manner. He acted erratically, and in a threatening manner, he made them feel, quote, incredibly uncomfortable. He also reportedly made a gun gesture at one of them, warned them that he had guns out in his truck. There was emergency dispatched audio, and an operator says Incognito was mad at employees, quote unquote, and wanted to kill someone. So think about this. That guy was a Pro Bowler last year. He retired, unretired, lost his mind at a gym, went after coaches for the Minnesota Vikings, said incredibly crazy things per usual. I'm telling you, whatever our over-under was.
Well, and this is not. Did that list include the pool hall when he was walking around the pool hall?
Well, that was back when he was a player with the Dolphins, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I think at that point you might be able to tab him as somebody who might be a danger to himself and others.
Yeah, he is. He's unstable. And so, again, I think that, my man, I went under 2 years. I like my chances. Like, which do you think is more likely? He ends up back in the NFL or dead?
Oh, geez, man. I mean, that's the case for a lot of people. Probably some big names, too, like Terry Bradshaw. He's dead. He's not going back to the NFL.
Well, he's not. Yes, but, I mean, he's retired for 25, 35
I don't think
years.
he can play much anymore, though.
He was a Pro Bowler last year. Incognito was a Pro Bowler last year.
Didn't he suffer a big injury? I could be wrong.
Well, I think he's had a ton of brain injuries. That much is apparent.
Beyond that.
Yeah, I think.
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Man. That guy scares me.
That was actual audio from the parlor.
Go read that report. Who gets mad at a funeral?
Someone burned down the funeral home. You burnt the funeral home.
Oh, boy. Well, at the end of the day, I'm not going to overly concern myself with that. It's just a short segment, and I wanted to be able to tell you that Richie Incognito in the under feels pretty good to me right about now. Soon I can really concentrate on the kinds of wagers I like to make, which are actually football-related, although none this Saturday, I will admit. Got nothing on the action this Saturday.
So, preoccupied with getting the funeral home clip that we haven't used in years that I didn't hear the note that he was a Pro Bowler last year. Probably would have been a good piece of evidence that he can still play.
He was a Pro Bowler last year, Tom.
Oh, well.
I have never questioned that he could still play. He may not be stable enough to go and conduct practice on a week-to-week basis without threatening coaches, but physically, I have no problem with him being out there. I think he could probably handle it.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-466-9625.
Change your life with a career in a year at Lively Tech. 38 career in a year programs available. Medical assistant, pharmacy tech, welding, diesel mechanic, automotive, massage, HVAC, electricity, cosmetology, barbering, digital design, and building trades. Full-time, part-time, and nighttime schedules are available for most programs. Enrollment opportunities provided for local high school students. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. Visit livelytech.com for more information. Change your life and enroll now. Lively Tech, your career starts here.
I'm tired of reading headlines about corruption and crime in Tallahassee. When I saw Jeremy Matlow wanted to step up to serve our community, I knew he would fight to reduce crime, strengthen local business, and listen to everyone, not just City Hall insiders. I trust Jeremy Matlow. He's a proven business leader who won't waste our tax dollars. Jeremy has always done what's right for Tallahassee. I'm voting for Jeremy Matlow for City Commission.
Political advertisement paid for and approved by Jeremy Matlow, nonpartisan, for Tallahassee City Commission, C3.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. More injury news for the Yankees as they continue to battle for a postseason spot. Shortstop Didi Gregorius has landed on the DL with a bruised heel. New York currently also without slugger Aaron Judge, and catcher Gary Sanchez has a 3.5-game lead on Houston and Oakland for the top AL wildcard. Astros are starting reliever Brad Peacock tonight against the Mariners because they're working around off days since Lance McCullers went on the DL with a strained muscle in his right forearm. With all the confusion and frustration about the NFL's new helmet contact rule, the league will be sending out a revised video to game officials, coaches, and players once the preseason wraps up and as teams prep for their regular season openers. The rule itself needs to be tweaked, in the opinion of ESPN's Louis Riddick.
I get it. You can't hit people like Jack Tatum. So they're saying go low. Well, players hate that, but okay, let's go low. Now, it's a penalty if you touch a player's knees with your helmet. Right. You tell me, because I don't think I could possibly do this. You tell me how you could saw someone off at the knees and not have your head get involved.
Louis Riddick on Golick and Wingo. There have been 51 flags thrown under the new rule so far this preseason. Eagles quarterback Nick Foles will play in Thursday night's game against the Browns. Foles sprained his throwing shoulder last week against the Patriots. Further testing, though, revealed it was just a mild strain. QB Carson Wentz will not play this week as he has not been cleared for contact by the medical team. Wentz, coming back from a torn ACL and LCL, his status for Week 1 still unknown. Panthers left tackle Matt Khalil had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee, will be evaluated on a week-to-week basis, so that does not entirely rule him out for the regular season opener. And former Giants receiver Victor Cruz officially announced his retirement from the NFL, and he's joining ESPN as an analyst.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello. Lawn Maintenance Tuesday edition. This is actually final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show. Because at 5 o'clock, we start Simple Headlines. 4 hours, just heaping helpings of content. That's what we got. If you go online, ESPN Tallahassee on YouTube, ESPNTallahassee.com for the website. We'll post everything post-program. And you can get caught up in case you missed something. How about them apples? Email the show if you like, jcs@ESPNradio.com. Let's get caught up. You realize that it's almost go time. Man, am I excited. I don't normally do like a promo at the outset of an hour, but I want to alert you all to something really cool. Again, just a reminder of this. The 7th Annual Jeff Cameron Show Libations Friday Fest. It is the fan appreciation, listener appreciation event. Sunday edition this go-around, Sunday, September the 2nd from 4 to 7:30, Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. That's 2475 Appalachian Parkway. As always, we want to thank everybody who's on board with us, whether you're a listener or a sponsor. This is we got good stuff, man. If you're 21 or older, your first beer is on Fan Retreat. They are the title sponsor for this event. We actually got this thing going. It's packed every year. Fan Retreat said, listen, we'd like to be a part of this. All you got to do is head to fanretreat.com, sign up for a free account, join our event, quote unquote, join our event, which you can find on the homepage under popular retreats. Very simple. I did it. See?
It's a star logo on the front page.
Just
there you go.
There it is. I'm going to that thing. Our friends at Full Press Apparel, as always, providing the T-shirts. You'll get that. Koozies, courtesy of B&B Sporting Goods. Crown Royal promo team going to be there. A little something different this time around. You can sample some of the different flavor combinations of Crown Royal. Yeah, Crown Apple, Crown Vanilla, Crown Royal itself.
Who doesn't like samplings?
Yeah. 1 ticket to end the night for a raffle prize. Check that out. You know what that prize list consists of? A Garnet and Gold 2018 Nike FSU Coaches Poll. Wore it yesterday on the plane, Tom. Guy sat behind me was wearing a Virginia Tech shirt. Oh, wasn't that great?
Well, there you go.
Get ready for your ass kicking, buddy. Garnet and Gold 2018 authentic FSU football jersey. My fine friends at the Clarn Country Club going to give you a round of golf for 2 of those. Bumpa's Local, 4 $25 gift cards to Bumpa's Local. Not Bumples, but Bumpa's. Butch Bundy, my man, PGA Tour professional over at Clarn. He's not a tour professional. He's a teaching pro. I made that up and gave him more credit.
The Clarn Saturday morning tour?
Yeah. 30-minute private lesson. That's worth a lot. It's yours.
Yeah, he's good.
Cigar City Oscar Blues, yay! Craft beer giveaway. Buy the 6-pack. Games for less. George always comes through. Metro Deli, 2 $25 gift cards. The Deck Pizza Pub, which could be new, opening soon.
Yeah, the old downtown Po' Boys.
Yeah, 2 $25 gift cards to the all-new Deck Pizza Pub. Got to be careful how you say that real fast. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 100 wing, 2 pitchers of beer, wing feast, 2 of them. The night concludes at 7:30. The Corner Pocket turns up the sound for the LSU Miami game on their countless big screens in the Vegas wall. You're going to want to do that. So, again, go to fanretreat.com, sign up for the event, and be there. Have a good time with us. It's annual. It's every year. We have a blast.
That should be a really cool atmosphere, too. This is the one thing that I'm really looking forward to beyond the game that weekend is there's going to be so many Noles here in town. Everybody's going to be, foaming at the mouth for football action.
Foaming at the mouth.
And we're going to be able to watch LSU Miami all together. And the thing I love about watching Rivals games, I think I've said this on the air, but when you're watching a Florida State game, you get happy for different reasons and mad for different reasons.
Right.
And then you argue amongst yourselves as Florida State fans about those reasons. But when Miami's losing or Florida's losing, we don't care how. If they got unlucky, we don't give a damn.
It happens. Sucks for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
We all just say, oh, no, that's unfortunate for our beloved rivals.
Admittedly, as we begin this hour, I'm a little torn. I got to tell you something. I'm not sure that I won't be, for lack of a better word.
Oh, don't say it. Not the R word.
Pulling for?
Why?
I'd want them to be undefeated so the pain they suffer when they lose at home on the 6th is that much greater. Moreover, it allows for a huge boost to what we're doing on the year when we go down there and beat an undefeated Miami team.
I think our schedule is good enough, and it can change, and when you can look back at it and say, wow, none of these teams were any good at all. I'd rather have Miami fall on its face this year so recruits realize, you know what, they aren't really getting with the times.
Well, last year was an indicator at the end of the season of what they truly were, and so the suspicion was raised in the moment that they lost 3 straight to conclude the year and really were physically dominated by Wisconsin. who was the tougher, manlier, more masculine team. And so when that happened, the thought was that, well, maybe they were paper tigers all along. Certainly got awfully lucky with all the turnovers. I mean, the chain was cool and all that. That's fine. But, a lot of that's luck. Can't repeat that again.
Sure.
Malik Rozier is still your quarterback.
Let's say they lose 4 or 5 games, and you could say, wow, they've lost,
7 games the last 2 years.
Right,
yeah.
7 or 8 in the last 15.
Seems like the same old Miami team that we've known for the better part of a decade.
And their indoor practice facility doesn't have a 40 or a 50-yard line.
No, it's an interesting thing. You don't ever want to unveil that with any degree of pride. You could have just built that thing off to the side and said, this is our little kiddie thing. We needed one so that we don't have to completely shut down practice, but it's our little kiddie thing. We're getting there. We're going to catch up someday.
Yeah, I just wouldn't put the yard markers. I'd almost create like a half court and then do something else with the other half of it.
Well, I would have done like a half court, and you would have never seen the lack of a 50. You would have the picture would have been taken from midfield, which was our 40, and then you would have just seen the picture towards the end zone of our mini field, but you wouldn't have known there wasn't another half of the field.
Yeah.
I would have just taken that picture, so that would not have been shamed yet again with our lackluster, sorry-ass facilities. You know what I mean?
And then try to save it with some mini golf or something.
Yeah, they could have done something like, well, here you go. You guys, let's have a putt-off at the end of practice. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
You guys done? All right.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, if Malik makes this 10-foot putt, we're done with practice.
I will say, so while I was away, several things have happened. Things got busy, and one of which was that we lost our athletic director, and Stan Wilcox said we lost. He took a position with the NCAA to be the number 2 man. It goes in line with what you would think. I mean, at some point, Stan would, I think, like to be the commissioner of the ACC, and he's got an opportunity to do that, having been at Duke, having also been now at Florida State, and let's remember Notre Dame. So he's got all of these ties with the ACC, and it's a bump up for him. It's also something that you would do if you didn't have real job security, say in 2020 when the president isn't sure whether or not he's going to be back. So these are things that you can understand. I mean, listen, people, I got a gazillion emails on this, and we're going to get into it in headlines as well, but nobody was stunned over there that this happened. The timing wasn't great, but nobody was stunned that it happened. And it wasn't because Stan wasn't well-liked. I will tell you this. You ask anybody over there that works for the man, and they like him a lot.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I think he did a lot more good than he did bad. I just, it was shocking when I first heard from him when you did a SiriusXM Campus Confidential thing,
yeah.
And Stan was talking about the argument for a standalone football facility. And I thought, oh, well, damn, okay, he's having responsible discussions in the background. I would say that that's probably his one failure. It wasn't for a lack of me looking for something that he was saying or doing. He just wasn't really a guy that wanted to get in front of a microphone or a camera much. He did an interview with Ira or the Democrat, sometimes one and the same, earlier in his tenure. But it just, to me, he was never going to be the face of an athletic department more than he was going to be a manager of an athletic department.
The argument is post-Dave Hart, there really hasn't been one because there can't be one because of the structure at Florida State, with the boosters being what they are. And so that anybody you hire, they're not really in charge. And so that limits the pool of people that will take the job. That's an argument.
Do you feel in charge?
So that's kind of, again, that's a much larger discussion.
Okay, well, he at least was in charge of or successfully lobbied for some allocation of funds to the basketball program, which I know everybody rolls their eyes and say he was a basketball AD.
Glad he did it.
Guess what?
Yeah, we went to the Elite Eight last year.
I don't think the investment in the TLC CC, the facelift within it, and then also the locker room upgrades, I don't think there's a coincidence between better players saying yes to Florida State and an empowering of the basketball program through at least some more funding.
Well, the bottom line is, while he was here, if you want to look around, and it matters to me as a Knoll, I think we agree on this, that, the softball team winning the national championship, the women's basketball team a perennial power, the men's basketball team back-to-back tournament appearances, now an Elite Eight performance, the volleyball team playing for the national, beach volleyball team playing for the national title, the track and field team, again, their rise back to prominence, the baseball program is an annual power, the football program this past year, notwithstanding, is a power. Look, this is a top 10 Directors Cup. This is as healthy an athletic program as there is in the country.
Yeah.
But we go about it differently.
Well, and it's as efficiently run in that sense, too, when you think about the resources we have.
Tennis is good. Golf is good. By the way, we can keep going on this list.
Right, against all of the other schools like that you would normally see at the top of the Directors' Cup standings. Everybody loves to point to Stanford because they have
4,000 events they participated in.
Right, but, we're not exactly a program that's been around for 100 years and has fully endowed scholarships to every sport under the sun. You have to be able to run things with consistency and efficiency. And I thought he was a good voice in the room for those purposes. He was also a Met fan and a guy from Queens, so he was near and dear to my heart in that sense. Yeah. But if you have somebody who's a little bit more dynamic and going to procure money for the athletic department, there's a lot of hands out right now. So if we need to get those hands filled with $100 bills to make sure everybody that we need to stick around sticks around and we get the improvements that we need across the board with the athletic department, maybe it is time for somebody who can go pitch to the public.
Looking for that guy. It may very well be Greg Phillips, who's at OU, by the way. Greg Phillips, 21 years, I think, with FSU before going to OU.
I mean, think about all the projects that we have to ask for money for right now.
Greg Phillips, former CFO in FSU's athletic department, holds that position at OU. And has had oversight on financial planning, business operations, accounting development, ticketing, licensing, to name a few. 19 years at FSU before he went to Oklahoma in 2006. Got to credit, as I did some research this morning on candidates, I want to credit James Coleman, who wrote that and was kind of listing candidates. I read a bunch of different articles, but he gets the credit for that. Anyhow, so we'll start to hear names, but we'll address that. Let's get to the football. Let's get to the other stuff. Let's get to the travesty going on in the NFL and all that went down over the weekend with FSU. And let's talk about that. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. You can do it, Jeff.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Progressive Box.
Oh, what a great audience. Let's dim the lights for this next one. Nope, too much. There it is. Gotta get things just right. Like Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Tell us what you want to pay and we help you find coverage options that fit your budget. And now, the mood is right. Wait, the lights are back on again. Trudy, can you? And now it's completely dark.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Come out and try Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, located in Tallahassee on 1818 West Tennessee Street and 2550 North Monroe Street. Guthrie's is a family-owned and operated restaurant, proudly in business for over 50 years. Since Guthrie's first introduced their chicken fingers in 1978, everybody's been falling hard for those golden fried chicken fingers, crispy fries, buttery Texas toast, creamy coleslaw, and of course, the signature sauce. So come out and try it yourself at either one of Guthrie's Tallahassee locations.
Are you tired of getting the same two-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener and DeWalt have your answer. Buy a 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee. 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
Widden Glass takes care of Tallahassee business. Local contractors know Widden Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. They prefer Widden Glass because of their precise window glass replacement, masterful shower enclosures, and storefront glass. Widden Glass will take care of you to your complete satisfaction. That's been Widden's way of doing business for over 70 years. When you call Widden Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. We've done hundreds of storefronts in the Tallahassee area. That's why Widden is known for taking care of business. Widden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
The 2018 Seminoles football home opener versus Virginia Tech is approaching fast. Single game tickets are on sale now. Be there to witness the fastest offense we have seen in garnet and gold. And fittingly, be present to see Peter Warwick join FSU royalty as his jersey gets retired against the familiar foe. Tickets start at $65, and you can pick your exact seat on Seminoles.com. Get yours today. Do something and be there September 3rd in Doak Campbell Stadium.
Touchdown FSU! Touchdown Florida State! This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Walked right past this building. Those buildings. Front cover of... This isn't off a Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, but that front cover, it's off of AM, isn't it? Or is that off of Being There?
It could be Being... No, it's not Being There.
It's AM.
Is it?
I think it's all the way back to AM.
It's one with like the acoustic on the cover, letterbox style, I think.
Well, that's Being There.
Is that Being There?
Yeah. I think this is off of AM.
Huh.
I have no idea. I walked right past the cover of Yankee Hotel Foxtrot, of course.
Man, I got to look at my Wilco cover art now.
Well, no, just look up AM and see.
Well, AM is the red with the crank radio.
That's correct, yeah. Just see if that's the... Just find out where the song is from, because it's going to bother me.
Yeah, that's it. That's got to be it. Yeah. No, Being There.
Oh, Being There. Okay. All right. It's time for a vision check. Let's do this. A little rusty.
So am I, sir. I was on the internet, sorry.
Open your eyes.
My glasses! I can't see without my glasses!
My glasses! I can't be seen without my glasses! That is absolutely horrendous!
I don't believe this call is accurate.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Man, I can see!
It's time for the vision check.
Speaking of which, we thank our friends Jose Fernandez, the law office of Jose Fernandez. They don't get paid until you do. The law office of Jose Fernandez. Offices Miami, Tallahassee. I'll give you a vision check that doesn't involve Florida State, as well as one that does involve Florida State. And I'm happy to hear that the one that doesn't have to do with Florida State has to do with the National Football League in an emergency meeting, which they're not calling an emergency meeting. They're calling a scheduled meeting. No, make no mistake. It is an emergency meeting because this ain't going to fly. We can't. I knew it was going to happen. And why is it always the most easy thing to predict in the world that the National Football League is going to screw up the simplest of things? And in this case, the very nature in which the game is played, fundamentally altered, the integrity of the sport up for grabs, all because the NFL acts like an idiot anytime they make a decision.
This would be the routine police exercise or drill, right?
I mean, it is unbelievable.
Nothing to see here, folks. This is just routine.
How in the world do you watch guys form tackle each other time and again only to see those kinds of tackles, which they're begging their players to better, I would say, execute over, that's the point of emphasis, right? We're going to try to ingrain in your mind to do it the right way. The players then do it the right way. Literally the kind of film you showed kids when we were growing up as to how to tackle and have it flagged. You don't know what you're doing, Roger Goodell. That league is a bastardization of all well-run companies, period. They are idiots.
I saw a second-hand report from Chris Mortensen last night on Twitter before going to bed. I forget who was quote tweeting it. You see, now you have to worry about who quote tweets the original report.
Yeah.
But it said that the NFL is now leaning towards a 3-year acclimation period to the new rule.
No,
as in, like, they're just going to try and change behavior over 3 years?
Get rid of the rule. It's stupid. The game's violent. Stop it. We know what those hits are supposed to look like, which ones are or are not penalties. You had it in play. Just stop, man. You've got guys getting, targeting calls for tackling the quarterback. We're done here. Stop doing that. You're not going to be able to play this game and try to institute that rule. The leading with the helmet rule is disastrous for football, and it's going to lead to games outcomes being decided by the league and the inability to create a policy that is understood by its players, the employees. It's impossible.
You know what's this reminds me of the Steve Spurrier effect. We talked about this when he was the head coach at South Carolina, and obviously he would always get a shot in to a very different Clemson program than it is now. When he could get a shot in at Clemson, and what was so maddening about Steve was he understood when they got beat in most circumstances. Now, he did quit on his team eventually, which is never a good look. No. But he would say, we need to coach better, we need to play better. That's a failure by the coaching staff today. I apologize to the fans. We'll get it tightened up this week. It's over at that point. If you're Goodell and you say, you know what, we thought we could do something here to make the game safer. Can't do it. It was stupid. But you know what? It's off the books now. Then the issue is dead.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. The same thing with the anthem stuff. It's just ridiculous. It's really a non-issue. But here's the deal: they just make things more convoluted and more complicated than they ever have to be. But also, this is just a failure to see the forest for the trees. I mean, look, man, it's football. It's violent. It's played at warp speed by amazing athletes that are trying to avoid being tackled. So you're always going to have a position in which a guy is compromised because the player who is on the other end of that tackle is going to move. He's going to move.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
It's a league run by lawyers when you get down to the rules part of it. I mean, think about the catch rule a couple of years ago. They said that they made it easier after the Des Bryant problem at Lambeau Field.
Yes.
They just added paragraphs to the rule. How does that make anything easier?
Well, this one, though, is so easy. I mean, nobody that's ever watched a game, literally just watched a game, not played it, just watched it. Nobody who's ever watched a game, certainly nobody who's ever played a game, would have sat in that room listening to this proposal and agreed that it was the right way to go. Nobody would have done that. Everyone would have said, from fan to former player to you name it, guys, I don't think that's going to work. I mean, almost by definition, if I lower my sights, which you've asked us to do for years, I'm going to have to lead as I bend to get lower with my head. I can't put it behind me. It's always going to be moving forward.
With that said, there was one call last night in the Colts-Ravens game, which I did watch the first half of, and I kind of wish I didn't now. It was pretty bad. But there was one call, and I forget who it was on, but it was clear that somebody was engaged and wrapped by a defender, and in comes a second defender who clearly has time to think, lowers the crown of his helmet, and hits
penalty.
The player.
Throw the flag.
Penalty.
That was always a penalty.
That's an easy call.
Easy call. That was always a penalty.
Everything else, man, you really want to be throwing flags when in question? Like the ACC told us all those years ago, when in question, throw the flag? What kind of policy is when in question, throw the flag?
No. And again, in a league and in a sport where if you'd like to, you could call a penalty on every play because there's holding on every play. You can call a penalty on every play. There is discretion involved in these rules. We've known that for years. If you want to legislate that that's the way the game is going to be played, then nobody's going to watch your game. Nobody's going to watch your game. It's already up in the air in terms of all the reviews that we have to deal with now, how long those games get protracted because of these rules, how frustrating it is for all, including the players who don't always have a firm grasp, not their fault, by the way, of exactly what they're being asked to do, because that's been changed several times over when it comes to the catch rule, for example. No, man, it's just what we needed to do was expedite the educational process, the league to show us transparency, the players who play the game to understand, even sign off on the fact that you understand now you're playing a very dangerous game. It's been revealed medically that you may, we don't know for certain, have a problem down the line with your brain if you play the game of football. Kind of stands to reason given the nature of the game. But now we know for sure that it's not in question. Some of you, not all, Some of you will suffer brain damage from playing this game. Are you okay now with playing this game? Sign this waiver. We're not getting sued anymore. Everybody's in the know. Also, we're doing a much better job of treating concussions. We're not letting you back on the field because we've educated ourselves. We finally admitted to the problem, and we're going about the process of bettering this game for you and everybody else involved in it. Now, we're all on the same page. Boom, let's go play football, baby.
I'd also footnote that we're doing as much as we can, but you have to be honest with us. So if you go back out there with a concussion that we didn't spot, then it's not on us.
No. We're doing everything we can. You know the deal. We know the deal. We all get it. Again, the NASCAR analogy that I've used over the years is right. You can only make a car so fast, and you can also only make it so safe. If my goal is to beat you in a race, by definition, I'm hauling ass. If I wreck while hauling ass, I could die. I got it. Everybody on that track knows the deal.
Heard of Hall & Oates? He's hauling ass.
Here it is. There's no way around it. Everybody who straps it up in a game of football or in a NASCAR event, and I can name several other sports, you think the guys that play rugby don't know it's a little dangerous? I mean, that comes with the game. That's with the territory. That's the deal. And at some point, you just say, oh, I'm willing to risk this because I love it. I have a passion for it. In the case of the NFL, I make a lot of money doing it. Same with NASCAR, whatever it might be. And I'm willing to take that risk. And I'll acknowledge that when I sign my contract. Now let's go play football. But you can't ruin the game, which we knew this would.
Well, I think part of it, too, at least for some of the crews, and we'll see there are so many new refereeing crews, or at least head referees this year in the NFL. I don't know how you can do it now that the bell's been rung, but I'd like to limit the amount of time that referees get on the camera. I think that affects sometimes what we're doing here. Think about it. Even without referees addressing on a PA system the crowd in an NBA game, which they've never done. I mean, you're telling me the block charge, that's really how you got to call a block?
No.
Is you got to prance around the court and blow the whistle 17 times while you're thrusting?
It's a look at me for sure.
Right. Well, I think...
By the way, not all referees thankfully do that. A lot of them just go, bap, and then we move on.
I'd rather have it almost sound like NASCAR where you're on like the radio and you're talking, you say, all right, we got to hold on 76. As you're spotting the foul, instead of stopping the play, you got to walk down to the numbers, stare at the press box, and then No. To me, that is
Hold
now...
on, 76. Second down.
Right.
Here we go.
Can we just keep moving?
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, think about that. All the other sports, hockey's tried it and it's failed miserably, but referees don't address the people at home. Forget it. Just keep moving on.
No, I know. Play the game. No,
you know how much time that would save for a referee to walk up to a spot where he has to tell a player to be quiet?
But right now, that is I agree with you, but it's such a secondary issue now. I mean, what they're dealing with here is, again, fundamentally altering a game to which we will not recognize the sport of football any longer. It cannot be played, and we'll stop watching. I mean, boy, a league, really.
I think part of the problem, though, man, is that the culture of look at me has bled over into calling something in a big moment.
Well, I'm sure.
I should be part of this moment.
But what's going on now in preseason, though, is amazing. I mean, you've got guys literally form tackling players. The way that you are shown videos. As a kid, the first year I ever played, it was the Lakewood Junior Midgets. And I remember they were showing us tackle videos. And then when we finally put on the pads, we had to practice what we had seen. And we had to show that we could execute a tackle. I mean, this is how we were shown how to do it. And I loved our coaches. They were great. And some of the tackles that have taken place in the NFL in the preseason look like those videos. That's how you do it. You wrap up, see what you hit what you see. You know, obviously, you don't lead with the crown of your helmet. All of those things have happened. And I'll watch a play, and then it comes the flag, and nobody understands. I mean, you could see even the team that is the beneficiary of the call, I could get the word right eventually. They are the ones that are. You see them looking around like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a separate call last night in the Ravens Colts game where the guy got pulled off the field for breaking the rule, and then the coaches put him right back on. They pulled him like you would see usually if somebody gets an unsportsmanlike call. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just like, you're off. Sit on the damn bench. I can't have this 15 yards nonsense for whatever you're doing. They look at the player, they look at the replay, they go, you know what? Screw that noise. Get back in the game. You did nothing wrong. You've done nothing, sir.
No, nothing wrong. All right, now let's get to the FSU part of the vision check, shall we? This is audio from the offensive coordinator, Walt Bell. It's also from the offensive line coach, Mr. Fry.
Every day we're getting closer. Every day there's a little bit more separation. I just think we continue got to have good days. Sometimes that conflict keeps those guys at their best, and so there may be some of that too. But we're getting closer to announcing a guy, or at least our team knowing. However Coach Taggart wants to do that. Obviously that's up to him. He's the head football coach, but getting closer every day. I think we're starting to see some separation. I think the kids are more importantly, because that's who it's important to. The other 10 guys know before we do. So starting to see some separation, and hopefully we'll get that done soon.
Landon's a good football player, and so as he's coming along, he's getting used to the position, getting used to where he's at. Really just getting the speed. There's a little bit of a speed difference there from guard to tackle and what. But usually once you learn that, when you move back inside, or eventually as he goes and plays down the line next year and the year after, it usually slows the game down. So he's been able to adjust to the speed of the defensive ends and the athletic ability pretty well.
All right, in order. A quarterback is emerging. He's still slightly inconsistent for our liking. We're going to wait until he is more consistent to announce it to our team. Secondly, you're going to tell me that Landon Dickerson is clearly a guard and not a tackle, too slow-footed. That from Walt Bell and Greg Fry, audio from War Chant. So that is exactly what you just heard there, basically. Somebody is emerging. It's not by a lot. There's not great separation. We think we know a guy. More importantly, the players know the guy, because they always know the guy. And we need him to be a little bit more consistent before we feel comfortable anointing him as the starter. Greg Fry is saying we've really tried very, very hard with Landon Dickerson at tackle, but he's too slow-footed. He's not a tackle. He's a really good guard. We're going to have to move him back inside, which creates this issue for you and me as we talk about it. To me, and by the way, that's my translation, and it's accurate. But what I will tell you is I'm concerned we don't have another tackle. That's where we're at here.
Well, you don't have a backup center that you love right now. They're working very, very hard with Bavion Johnson to get him, to the point where
be able to snap the ball correctly.
Well, but he can also do the finer points of the position with footwork necessary of being a center. So we don't have a backup center that's traditionally trained at this point. And then, I hear that Fry at the end tries to save it and says that, he's adjusted to the speed nicely.
It's too late.
I don't know that it's too late for Landon Dickerson to be decent at that position, because I don't know what other options there are given the rest of the depth chart.
There's two different things. He's out of options, I think, but we don't have another option. So even if he's not decent, he's going to be playing that position, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But those two aren't one and the same. He could still suck at that position because he's not equipped to play it, but we have no other option, and he's our best option, which is scary, which gets back to my point. And he may be great. We'll see. That didn't sound like it.
He isn't now, I think, is what you're getting from that quote.
Well, he's not a tackle. Anyhow, here's what I'm going to say. If you go back to the middle of the summer, you go back to the start of camp, you go back to yesterday, whatever day you want to. What have I repeatedly said over and over and over again? The offensive line is going to be the thing that keeps this season from having a chance to be special. Right now, it sounds like camp has revealed exactly that. I'm not happy about being right about that. And I hope by the time the season starts, I end up being wrong about that to some extent. Like they improve or the system allows for them to be average and we still excel. That's possible. But I do think, again, what you're learning about this camp is that there are guys emerging. There's real talent here, especially at the skill positions on both sides of the football. I think the secondary has a chance to be great. I think if we avoid injuries on the defensive line, we can be good. We'll see about linebacker. I think the whole thing is, again, you can't afford a lot of injuries here. I don't think there's quality depth on this football team, both sides of the ball. Secondly, other than running back. Secondly, I think that offensive line is still a question mark. And we're really not going to know until the lights are bright. And maybe Virginia Tech doesn't reveal that to us. We might not know until we play Miami on the 6th of October. So it could be a while. I mean, we could end up being filled with a bit of fool's gold early on because of all the problems Virginia Tech's had. Our offense could boat race them. We could end up winning this game, going away, beating what's going to be an average Louisville team. And the next thing you know, we're 5-0, feeling like we have a chance to win the national title, and you haven't really seen a good defensive line.
Well, it raises some interesting questions. You're right. To take the optimistic side of that equation, you'd say if you can get by Virginia Tech, then you have as much time as possible to get Dickerson built to be average at that position of right tackle. That's all you need from right there. I think the left side of the line, if Juwan Williams is, coming along, and he's a good player in his own right, which, if we don't have many tackles, I don't know if anybody's pushing him to be a great left tackle. But you would like to think is probably the best way of putting it, that Eberle at center, and then you move left from Kelly to Williams. That should be a fairly solid half or 3/5 of the offensive line. At right guard, Minshew's had issues with his ankles. He's not able to practice consistently. They believe he'll be ready by the opener. But again, this was the concern we've talked about in the summer. Nobody can tell me that these guys are all prepared to play 12 games. It doesn't happen. They just don't. So who's your first option for the interior? I would guess that would be Bavion. If you have another option at tackle, is it best to link together Dickerson at right guard all the way through left tackle with guys that you feel okay about and then put somebody out in an island over there? I don't know. These are tough questions, but clearly depth is an issue, and you've got some tough choices to make. If you can get by Virginia Tech, though, perhaps you've got the time and the opponent's list to go through those choices without losing a ball game.
Yeah, somebody could emerge. We'll see. Listen, I don't think this puts a huge damper on anything. I think it's going to be a good football team, one that overachieves, one that, according to Vegas, overachieves anyhow. But I just don't think that they're going to be equipped to make a run to the playoff because they're not good enough up front. So, that nothing's new here. We knew these were the concerns going in. They're still the concerns today. I think they'll be the concerns when we play the teams on our schedule that have a stout defensive line with a quick rush in. We're going to be looking at this and saying, look, I don't know if we can block it up against Clemson. I don't know if we can block it up against Miami. Maybe, probably, certainly a better chance to do it against Miami than Clemson. I don't know that we can block it up against Notre Dame. And, hey, listen, frankly, Boston College is going to be a problem if they're healthy and they haven't given up on the season. Luckily, we played them so late, they may have given up on the season.
They'll be weary just as we are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But, look, these are problem teams. So it's something to talk about. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
Summer temps in Tallahassee can mean extra stress on your AC unit. Let Barano Heating and Air Conditioning help with their Total Comfort Service program. Visit BaranoAC.com for info. You'll also find money-saving rebates, energy-saving tips, online scheduling, and more. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Call 580-4029. This is for CAC 057652.
I used to leave voicemails for myself because the only one I could trust to get something done right was me.
Hey, you, it's me. Remember to order safety goggles and grab some milk on your way home.
But now I use Grainger. Grainger's got the technical support you'd expect from America's #1 source for industrial-grade supplies. They're in the business of helping my business, so no more talking to myself. Now I talk to Grainger, because when it comes to keeping your business running, Grainger's got your back. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
I'm tired of reading headlines about corruption and crime in Tallahassee. When I saw Jeremy Matlow wanted to step up to serve our community, I knew he would fight to reduce crime, strengthen local business, and listen to everyone, not just City Hall insiders. I trust Jeremy Matlow. He's a proven business leader who won't waste our tax dollars. Jeremy has always done what's right for Tallahassee. I'm voting for Jeremy Matlow for City Commission.
Political advertisement paid for and approved by Jeremy Matlow, nonpartisan, for Tallahassee City Commission, C3.
Are you tired of getting the same two-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener and DeWalt have your answer. Buy a quarter-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free quarter-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee. 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. More injury news for the Yankees as they continue to battle for a postseason spot. Shortstop Didi Gregorius has landed on the DL with a bruised heel. New York currently also without slugger Aaron Judge, and catcher Gary Sanchez has a 3.5-game lead on Houston and Oakland for the top AL wildcard. Astros are starting reliever Brad Peacock tonight against the Mariners because they're working around off days since Lance McCullers went on the DL with a strained muscle in his right forearm. With all the confusion and frustration about the NFL's new helmet contact rule, the league will be sending out a revised video to game officials, coaches, and players once the preseason wraps up and as teams prep for their regular season openers. The rule itself needs to be tweaked, in the opinion of ESPN's Louis Riddick.
I get it. You can't hit people like Jack Tatum. So they're saying go low. Well, players hate that, but okay, let's go low. Now, it's a penalty if you touch a player's knees with your helmet.
Right.
You tell me, because I don't think I could possibly do this. You tell me how you could saw someone off at the knees and not have your head get involved.
Louis Riddick on Golick and Wingo. There have been 51 flags thrown under the new rule so far this preseason. Eagles quarterback Nick Foles will play in Thursday night's game against the Browns. Foles sprained his throwing shoulder last week against the Patriots. Further testing, though, revealed it was just a mild strain. QB Carson Wentz will not play this week as he has not been cleared for contact by the medical team. Wentz, coming back from a torn ACL and LCL, his status for Week 1 still unknown. Panthers left tackle Matt Khalil had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee, will be evaluated on a week-to-week basis, so that does not entirely rule him out for the regular season opener. And former Giants receiver Victor Cruz officially announced his retirement from the NFL, and he's joining ESPN as an analyst.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool & Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
How much was your flight to Chicago? It's okay, you can reveal that personal information on the air.
Really want me to reveal that?
Yeah, I really do. How much was your round-trip ticket to Chicago?
There's a technicality involved, but it was about $520.
Okay, $520 round trip for both of you or just you?
Well, actually, she used a companion ticket, and so we got both of them for about $620, but that includes taxes and such for the companion ticket.
People are asking questions about cheaper flights and all that stuff. Here's the thing, guys. GameDayExcursions.com. Yes, I know you've looked into it and you thought, well, wait a minute. It sounds great. Want to do GameDayExcursions.com, Jeff, but is there another place to fly into other than South Bend? Well, fly into Chicago, first of all, and that's where you fly in, okay? And round trip, yeah, I think that you're not going to do much better than that. I mean, there is a cost associated with going to games, but we want to mitigate that. And that's what GameDayExcursions.com is going to help you do.
Well, and for a lot of you, you're listening to this in bigger markets with better airports, and that flight's going to be $250. So what are we doing here,
Infinitely
folks?
cheaper. I'll get on our sorry-ass airport in a second. GameDayExcursions.com. do what Tom and I are doing, enjoying a fun game. Turnkey game day experience that includes transportation to and from Chicago to South Bend, an exclusive tailgate party stocked with beer, food, entertainment for all those who sign up. Game Day Excursions hosted a huge blowout last year. You saw the Georgia game against Notre Dame. Same thing here. They have a hotel block for all Noel fans to book at the W Lakeshore downtown. While you're at it, it's just $189 a night. Cheap, very cheap. Walked past it while I was in Chicago over the weekend. Be sure to use the promo code JCS at checkout to get $10 off your order. That's promo code JCS, GameDayExcursions.com. Food, beer, endless mimosas, and not margaritas. That's, you can tell that's a Freudian slip. I like margaritas. Bloody Mary, whatever you have in there. Then you get on the bus. You're not driving anywhere. You don't have to worry about that. They're taking care of you. You get there. The tailgate's all set up. 4 hours worth. Walk around the campus, have some pops, walk into the game, enjoy it, get back on that bus. They take you back to Chicago. Good times.
25 years after the game of the century, which I watched at home, was a little tight. It'll be pretty cool to be in South Bend for this version of the Florida State Notre Dame pseudo rivalry, if you will. But a couple of cool things that I noticed as I was checking out GameDayExcursions.com, and this really isn't part of the read. It's just kind of cool. Look at the photos from last year with the Georgia tailgate. You can see above the tree line from where we tailgate, Touchdown Jesus and the Golden Dome on campus at Notre Dame. So that means, obviously, you can go explore it as you do it. But then for the bus ride, you're allowed to bring a personal cooler as long as it's small enough to fit underneath the seat in front of you. So
like a plane ride.
There it is. So you can stock up and enjoy that hour, 40-minute bus ride with premium service.
GameDayExcursions.com. All right, speaking of which, man, you know, it's depressing when you fly back into Tallahassee. I love Tallahassee. This is my home. I have lived here for some time now. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. That's not necessarily true, but I do love the home. I do love it here. I would live other places too. But one thing to say is that it is disheartening. That airport looks like it did when I arrived here back in 1991. It is nuts. It's just a piece of crap. We've got to do better. Come on. Public officials, all of you, get it together. It's humiliating. People land in the sticks and they think, where the hell am I? It's awful. Just venting yet again about this sorry airport where no flights seem to be able to be purchased for less than $9,000 to fly anywhere.
Well, perhaps they can do it through branding with us. You know, maybe that's the recourse, is that they start marketing so that therefore they can get some buzz going.
Just do something, man. You've got airports now in like Destin and Panama City and all these other places that have surpassed the capital city's airport. It's wrong, Tom. You're right. They should do that.
Perhaps they will.
Maybe it'll happen. I hope that it'll happen. You know, before we hit probables, we got football this week. It's happening on Saturday.
All right, there it is.
We're playing football. That is right. This Saturday. We're in week 0. It's now. It's this week, friends.
You can hear pregame coverage of Hawaii, Colorado State this Saturday beginning at 7 p.m. right here on these fine airwaves.
All right. You know what happens, by the way, on that night? 10 o'clock Eastern time. My Wyoming Cowboys hit the field. Ooh.
Touchdown Cowboys.
Let's go Cowboys. Wyoming, New Mexico State. That's late night. I like late night football. 5:30 p.m. is sorry-ass Duquesne and UMass. I say sorry-ass. That's relative. I'm sorry about that. Maybe you like Duquesne. I don't know. Hawaii at Colorado State is the game Tom just referenced. That's at 7:30 p.m. But if you needed a little football Jones earlier, you could watch Duquesne and UMass. I'm sure you can find it.
Or if you're in the car at 7 p.m. on Saturday, you can tune in right here.
To Hawaii, Colorado State.
Hey, man, that pregame show is going to be talking about a lot of other things. I can guarantee it.
Prairie View A&M and Rice is also a game. Yes. The game is going to be played.
Okay.
But Wyoming and New Mexico State, too, will be played. All right, probables, let's go. Fire it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
My Buccos have given up a grand total of 1 run in 3 of the last 5 games, or is it 5 of the last 7? It's something ridiculous. And we're 5 games, and we're 2-3 in those games. Gave up 1 run to the Braves yesterday. 1! We lost 1-0. So I tell this story. You'll hear it on Seminole Headlines coming up. But for the Jeff Cameron Show audience, I'll tell it here too. I was at the Cubby Bear in Wrigleyville. It's directly across the street from Wrigley Field. I forgot that's where we were. I'm wearing this Pirates cap that you can see me wearing right now on YouTube. ESPN Tallahassee. I'm watching Pirates Cubs.
You forgot where you were.
I swear to God, and I know it seemed like a troll job, and it was not. I'm sitting there drinking a beer. I'm talking with my buddies, where they're having a good time. Watching Pirates Cubs. Frazier hits the walk-off in extra innings. That ball is pissed on. As soon as he hits it, I go, boom! Suck it, Cubs!
Oh, no.
As soon as it leaves the bat, there's this guy with his family next to us.
Family?
Well, not a family because it's a bar. But it was a guy and his older daughters and his wife, and he's decked out in Cubs gear. Clearly went there to watch the game.
Okay. Older daughters, real quick.
Yeah, college age.
Okay.
18, 19, yeah. So they're sitting at the table next to me. He was furious. He thought I was trolling him. I wasn't. I was just celebrating a great win for the Pirates. And he just stared over, and Matt goes, okay, I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen. Like, I'm not with this guy. And the worst, I'm wearing the hat. So they all turn and they see the brothers of the P right there. Get you some. Oh, and it was so funny. You should have seen how quickly everybody exited. Like 5 people, there's diehard Cubs fans that went to the Cubby Bear just to watch the game. And I'm like, all right, another round for everybody.
Oh, no. How was Wrigleyville?
It's great. Every time I go, it's great. Listen, the Cubs have great tradition.
So can we swing it in November? I mean,
yeah,
come on.
Sure.
Right.
No, I love it. It's great. You'll love it. You'll fall in love with it immediately.
Okay.
I've never denied the Cubs' tradition, which was largely that of losing. But certainly the surrounding area and all that is a wonderful thing. That stadium's great.
I know you were just saying it wasn't convenient, and I don't know the next time I'm going to be in Chicago.
No,
I'd
you
love
just
to go
take
to
the red
Wrigleyville.
line over to Addison. You get off, you're good to go. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
This is exciting.
We'll have a good time. Atlanta's at Pittsburgh. Kevin Gausman goes for the Braves. Ivan Nova will go for my Buccos. We got the Phillies and the Nats. Vince Velasquez and Tanner Roark. Hey, while I was away, did the Mets beat the Phillies 24 to something?
Yes, we did.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Orioles, Jays, Dylan Bundy, Sam Gavagiglio.
Great
googly guys. Gavagiglio.
You know what's funny, though? When you're a Mets fan.
Gaviglio. Oh, there it is.
And you scored 24 and beat the Phillies, it doesn't get nearly as much press as when the
Nats beat you 24 to
Yes, they scored 25. That's just people love to pick on the Mets. That's
fine.
But
they suck. They're terrible this year. And their organization is poorly run.
Right. Well, shouldn't it be more embarrassing for the Phillies, who are winning this season, have a chance to win the division?
Yeah.
And in the heat of a race, they lose, they give up 24 runs.
To the Mets?
To the Mets. Shouldn't that be more embarrassing? Like, if you give up 40 to the Browns on a given weekend these last 2 years, should you not be more embarrassed than the Browns for giving up 40 themselves?
Sure, except for if it's easily, thrown off the side of the road there because you're saying to yourself, it's a one-off, doesn't matter, we're going to go win the division. That's
well, I don't know.
Cubs, Tigers, Kyle Hendricks. You can tell I'm tired. Jordan Zimmerman. Indians, Red Sox, Shane Bieber, Nathan Eovaldi. We got the Royals and the Rays, Glenn Sparkman and Blake Snell. Boy, that White Sox-Royals matchup I went to was something. Actually, it was fun. White Sox beat the brakes off the Royals.
There we go.
Home runs everywhere. Yankees, Marlins, Masahiro Tanaka, Pablo Lopez. Looks like the nicest kid in the world. Giants, Mets, Chris Stratton, Steven Matz. We got the Reds and the Brewers, Sal Romano and Junior Guerrera. Twins, White Sox, Jose Barrios, Michael Kopech. Padres, Rockies, Robbie Erlin, Tyler Anderson. Angels, D-backs, Felix Pena, Patrick Corbin. Rangers, A's. Good Lord, there are a lot of games tonight. Ariel Jurado and Brett Anderson. We got the Astros and the Mariners, Brad Peacock, Mike Leake. And finally, good matchup. Cards, Dodgers. This guy's name is Daniel Ponce de Leon. You got to be kidding me.
All right.
And it's all together. It's not separated.
Really?
It's Ponce de Leon all together. What?
Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, that's him. Parents big fans. Ryu is on the hill for the Dodgers. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump.
So we could wash away our past so that we may start anew.
All right, it's been good to be back with you. We're not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. A lot of good stuff, including the start of football. Coming up next, Seminole Headlines. That's right, four chock-full hours. Goodness.
See you guys next week.
Where are you?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
That'd be good.
Too soon.
Like, where are you going? Tom and I are taking off to Seattle to catch a few Mariner games. We'll be back with you next week when football really begins. I'm kidding. We're not. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody.